Hey everyone, Pastor George here, and today I'm going to talk about the slap heard around the world, or the slap that happened at the Oscars. I always love when this happens, when the world just inserts itself into my life like this, so I can easily think of a topic for a theolog, so I don't have to sit here in this room for like 20 minutes scrolling through Twitter or through Facebook trying to find a topic. But today it was a gift from God because now I have something to talk about. So, something that I think is important to talk about when it comes to this is like, what should the Christian response be to something? Because, like, it was interesting seeing the reaction, right? There was my own feelings on it, which was that I thought it was kind of funny for like ironic or like, cultural reasons why that happened, right? But it was interesting to see how other people reacted to it. I especially like the edits that people do of pictures to like change them or like add things. Um, but I it was interesting to see other people, right? Some people thought, this is some great tragedy that, there was this violence at the Oscars, like the Oscars is this super sacred, special thing. And I've watched too many of the Oscars to know that that's true. And also, like, they gave Dune a bunch of awards, so who cares? And then we also have people who, we're saying, oh, this is the exactly appropriate response, right? Oh, this is exactly what you do when someone insults your wife or whatever, right? So, just to give a little bit background, what happened at the Oscars is Chris Rock was hosting, right? And if you've ever watched the Oscars, right, this is a normal thing. The host like makes jabs at the people, and sometimes they're really strong. You can go back to like 2 years ago or something when Ricky Gervais hosted, and he basically called everyone in the audience either like pedophiles or pedophile enablers because of like the stuff that has happened in Hollywood, right? And it was really, really harsh. Um, so you can have stuff like that, right? Or you can have like minor jokes like when Ellen DeGeneres hosted and it's like a little bit more daytime TV friendly or whatever, right? So Chris Rock's a comedian and it's generally understood that when you go there, you have the ability to get ribbed. So he goes up there and he tells a bunch of different jokes. And the joke that set off this slap was he joked about Will Smith's wife who has alopecia, right, which means she's balding, and he said that you could be in the next GI Jane movie, which for if you know Chris Rock's humor from movies and other things, is relatively light. And maybe it wasn't a good joke. I'm not here to be the joke police or whatever. But Will Smith didn't like it, and he got up and he slapped Chris Rock in the face in front of him and millions of people all around the world. Um, and that's actually how most people saw it. Is that American TV kind of like has that delay, and so they were able to kind of cut around it a little bit, but Japanese and Australian television don't. And so a lot of the clips that were circulating were from Japanese and Australian television. And so, Chris Rock gets slapped. He doesn't hit him back, right? Will Smith walks away. He curses at Chris Rock. And then Chris Rock kind of like moves on with the show or whatever. And of course, that's what dominated the Oscars, and appropriately so, because, this year's Oscar winners were lame and Oscars is bad. So I don't really care. And the response to that was, of course, as I said, kind of all over the place. So, what is the Christian response to this? Well, the Christian response can kind of come from wherever your heart is, right? I'm not here to bind anyone's consciences on this thing. I found this situation funny and for ironic reasons, mostly more than anything else, right? This idea that there's these millionaires, hundreds of millionaires, who are slapping each other over minor insults and stuff like that, and totally downplaying whatever political or moral causes that they always try to bring forward and pretend that they're like the best of us or whatever. I hate when Hollywood uses that type of language because we all know that they're not. And so it was kind of smugly satisfying. But I think the thing that we have to remember, and I think this is where the other two sides kind of end up messed up, because some people got mad that other people were laughing at it, and some people supported what Will Smith did, right? Um, is to remember, firstly, that like we are sometimes poisoned in our culture into thinking that if something is funny, it means it's good, right? So if someone tells if this happens, right, and we find it funny, then someone thinks that you think it's also a good thing. Well, that's not true, right? I think we might not realize that, and we can be poisoned into this thinking ourselves, right? We might think, oh, because this person is really funny, that means that they have no bad will or bad intentions, right? And that's not true. I mean, you can look at one of the best places about this is the internet, right? Where people make funny content all the time, but like that doesn't mean that they're good people, right? Or that, what happens in order for them to make funny content is a good thing, right? Oh, I hate one of the things I don't like is prank videos where they'll like go up and just mess with people in a park. Like, I don't really find that type of stuff funny, but even if it did, right? Even if that event is funny, the thing that leads up to it is not a good thing, right? And so you like just because something is funny doesn't necessarily mean that you support it happening or whatever. It also doesn't mean that it's good. And I think we should be able to separate these two things, both for people who are being critical of others and also for people who find things funny, right? The second thing is that to respond to the other people is to say that this is absolutely not acceptable behavior, right? This is not a good thing that you can say someone just slapped someone for saying something, right? It is not an acceptable Christian response to an insult, right? We're actually told by Jesus what to do when we're insulted, right? And that's to bless people who insult us and persecute us, right? And so, this was not something that is a stupid thing to do to an insult, right? Even if it hurts you, even if it hurts someone that you're close to, right? You have to be able to kind of suck it up, you know, not you don't have to laugh or whatever, and you just kind of move on. And you talk to them in a more appropriate place than in front of millions of people by slapping them in the face, right? Because one, that's a crime. You can't go around hitting people, right? They can press charges for assault against you, so that's bad. But two, and more importantly, that's not how God calls us to act. So it was inappropriate of Will Smith to do that, and I think that Denzel Washington summed it up best because he was there as well. He should have won Best Actor because, of course, he should. He's a much better actor than Will Smith. Um, and he pulled Will Smith to the side after it happened, and he was giving him, a little bit of a rebuke, a little bit of a like, calm down talk type thing, and he said, "Don't let the devil get a hold of you like that," right? And Denzel Washington's a Christian, so that's not a surprise that he would use this type of language, right? But it just cemented like our belief and our thinking about anger, right? Because when we're angry, we think that we are absolutely right to be angry in this situation, and it can lead us to do some stupid things. And so he goes up and he hits Chris Rock, and then that derails the entire Oscars, and that's all everyone can talk about. And ends up leading to his winning of the award, which is also kind of funny in a way. But then, of course, it overshadows all this type of stuff, and that's all people can talk about now. So I guess that if there's any silver lining to pull from this, that the Oscars, the best thing that happened, didn't have anything to do with any award or anything like that. So don't go around slapping people. That's the baseline of this video. All right, everyone, have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow for our Bible study recap, and peace out.